Overwatch 2 Season 19 dropped earlier today, and we got the official patch notes of all the balance changes, along with an in-depth detail of everything that we're going to be getting for this season as it went live in game. So we're going to be going through the Season 19 patch notes in this video. I'm going to kind of be discussing and going through everything. If you guys want to check these out yourself, they are on the Blizzard website. I'll probably just throw some gameplay in the background, and when there's a relevant thing on the screen, I'll probably talk about it with you guys. But just skimming through these patch notes, I'm gonna be 100% real with you guys. I think this season 19 is probably the definition of a filler season. There is literally nothing for this season, unless you play Stadium. Maybe if you like Stadium, this will be a way better season for you. But if you're somebody like me that just plays Stadium as like a secondary thing when I don't want to play anything else, like the main stuff I play, there's literally nothing changing. There's barely any balance changes. There's barely any content apart from LTMs, which most people don't want to play, or they'll play for a little bit at the start of the season and then completely drop and won't touch ever again. This is probably the definition of like a literal filler season, and season 20 we're supposed to be getting a new hero, so they're probably just waiting to drop everything on us here at the end of the year with this next season. So keep that in mind, just skimming through some of these patch notes, because this season is just really boring and just like the definition of like a nothing burger season, if I'm being completely real with you guys. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below at the end of this. I'll throw it on the screen for you guys right now. Leave a like, subscribe, share the video. Let's get right into this. We got the Season 19 Haunted Masquerade. Some of this I'm also going to skim over because we'll be sitting here forever. I'm not going to really talk about the Haunted Masquerade mode. If you guys want to go through in depth every single thing of what the hero mask for each hero will do, you guys can read that, but I'm not going to go through every single one because I don't plan on playing this mode. Unless there's like free stuff and they force you to play it, I'm not going to. All this really is saying is that they're kind of testing team-ups. They're going to take another play out of Marvel Rivals playbook, and they're going to copy their homework, and we're probably going to end up getting team-ups for Season 20 or 21 or 22, probably at the start of next year if I were to guess. They're going to introduce team-ups to the game, and we're going to have another thing that's taken from Marvel Rivals. Because they can't make a game themselves, they gotta fucking copy Marvel Rivals, of all things. As if making Stadium to kind of check them as like a counter to Marvel Rivals wasn't enough with how much of a fucking failure that mode is, which we'll talk about. They gotta try to add team-ups to the game, possibly later down the line. That's all this mode's really teasing. It's a pretty much an LTM that's testing team-ups. If you guys know what team-ups are, they're pretty much... I don't play Marvel Rivals either, but I kind of know what they are. They're pretty much like if you have like two specific heroes on your team, and if they're both on your team, you'll get like a bonus or like a passive. Kind of like something that buffs both of them if they're both played on the same team at the same time. It's kind of what it is. Like 2 or 3 heroes at the same time. So I don't know. I'm not going to really talk about this. If you guys like the LTM, go through and scan all these different types of perks you get with the wearing a different type of mask for each hero. I'm not going to talk about these at all because I just don't care. Nor am I going to really be playing it unless there's like really easy to get rewards, or if they give me like legendary loot boxes or something crazy, mythic shards. I don't know. Halloween Terror is returning as well. We have the Junkenstein's Revenge is back, so those of you guys that like that mode, it's back yet again. Really boring, really old mode from all the way back in like the start of Overwatch 1, but if you guys like to play that, it's back. I won't be playing it. Hero Mastery is gone. It is no longer in the game. They took it out, rightfully so, which is great. What a waste of time that was. Least dev time. Team Text Chat. New options added to social. Colors for each existing team or text chat channel has been added. The color com/pings can now be set. Tabbing through each of the potential text chat channels includes a small new visual element to indicate that the channel has changed. So now you're able to tell like between whatever channel you're in. It'll be a lot more easier to tell. And you can set like, I'm assuming that's like whoever's on your team. Maybe you can set certain people to have like different colors, so when they talk, you know who's the one talking. I'm not sure. More quality of life stuff. I don't know. I have to look at it once we get in game. I got the patch downloading in the background right now as I'm actually recording this. So Here we go, y'all. We got the hero balance for this season. This is where I'm gonna get into the questionable rant that everybody loves to hear. Some people love it, some people hate it. I don't care. If you're here for it, then we're gonna get right into it. We got the balance for this season, which the lack thereof, which you guys will see how little balance changes there are for this season, and how minimal balance changes we do even have for what we do get. Doomfist, power block, a damage reduction reduced from 80 to 75%. Aftershock, which is his major perk, slow duration increased, and then slow amount. So they buffed a perk, and then they nerfed power block. So, does that really do anything for Doomfist? Not really. It's going to be kind of in the same spot, if I'm being 100% real with you guys. We got another revert to Hazard. Didn't they just change this for last season? I swear they changed this for last season. If you guys know and you remember off the top of your head, let me know in the comments down below. I swear they nerfed this lifesteal on his perk, and I swear that was nerfed last season or for like mid-season 18, one of those two, and now they're reverting it back up to 30%. I think Hazard's really good. The problem is just nobody really plays him. I have not seen Hazard at all up until now. Granted, I haven't played Season 19 yet, but at least towards the end of Season 18, with the competitive drives, I played a shit ton of ranked. I've been playing a lot of the game over the last, like, 2 weeks, so I don't see much Hazard being played, but when I do see him played, he does really well, so. Junker Queen, they're actually nerfing Junker Queen, y'all. Rampant Charge, her minor perk, no longer refreshes all of her cooldowns. It only gives you a 6-second cooldown reduction. So I'm pretty sure that's the minor perk is the one where if you actually use your alt, it would reset all your cooldowns. Now it doesn't do that, it only reduces them by 6 seconds. I don't even know why they nerfed her. I don't think Junker Queen's really that good. I think Junker Queen is like mid as fuck. I don't think she's really that good at all. I really don't. There's just too much damage in the game, and like, you gotta get really close to somebody to actually kill them and do a lot of your damage, and you just get melted so fucking easy. I just don't think she's really that good. She's a lot better in 6v6, but 5v5, I don't think she's really that as good. Malga, one of the best tanks for Season 18 right now, y'all. Season 18, Malga was top 3 best tanks. What do they do to him? Ultimate cost reduced, so now he can spam his ult more. Oh, that's so fun. I love playing into Malga ult. And then Combat Fuel, his major perk. Maximum overhealth granted increase from 100 to 150. And critical hits amount to overhealth given increase from 2 to 3. So they're making him even more unkillable with one of his better perks. And then they also buff his ult so he gets it 6% faster. Oh, that's so fun. This balance team is absolutely fucking clueless. Here we go. Granted, like I said, Malga is literally one of the best tanks in the game right now. He is probably top 3 best tanks. If I were to choose like 3 of the best tanks right now, it's probably Malga, Orisa, and then D.Va is probably number 1. Those are like the 3 tanks that I think are the best. I think Zarya. Maybe Zarya, you could throw Zarya in there as well, arguably. In like the top 3 as well. But she's usually banned the majority of your games anyways. So. But if she isn't banned, she's probably top 3. You could probably knock Orisa out of there, throw Zarya in like top 3. Arguably, it just depends which one you... There's an argument for either of those. We got Ryan. Barrier field regeneration increase from 150 to 200. I don't know why we're buffing Ryan. I think he's really good. I don't know why we're even touching him balance-wise. Quit fucking buffing heroes that are already balanced. If anything, I think that should nerf Ryan because the amount of ult charge he gets and how fast he gets his fucking ult is actually crazy. There are some team fights that I played over the last like week or two with the competitive drives where like the Reinhardt just able to fucking swing on you and like he gets like 2 or 3 ults in like one team fight sometimes. It is fucking crazy how much ults he gets. I think they should have nerfed his ult charge rate. That's what I think they should have nerfed. I don't know why they even buffed him. I think he's really good already. Wrecking Ball no longer consumes overhealth for his adaptive barrier major perk. Visual size increase to be in line with Zarya's barriers. Is that really a nerf? I'm not sure. You guys let me know. I'm not sure. I don't really play ball. That is all we have for the tanks as well, y'all. That is literally all we have for the tanks. We have what? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks. 6 tanks, and then half of these shouldn't even be on this list. The Junker Queen one's stupid. Hazard, I don't know why they're reverting his Hazard nerf. Don't know why, really stupid change, and then the Reinhardt didn't need to be buffed. So you take half of those away, like technically 3 tanks that had some type of balance changes that were needed. Diva's the best tank in the game right now. Where is Diva? She is so good, y'all. If you guys keep up with the channel, I was streaming competitive drives ranked this past week on Friday. We streamed for about 3 hours, and Diva is so good that if the games we did not ban Diva and she got through and the enemy team was able to pick her, she won every single game. Every time Diva was not banned, we usually lost those matches. That is how broken she is currently. She is a must ban in ranked, in my honest opinion, if you want to win a lot of your games. I would ban her and Zarya are like the 2 main tank bans that I would probably ban. And then it kind of comes down to personal preference, what you don't want to play against, and depending on what you're currently playing. But I don't know why she's not on here. Diva's fucking busted. Best tank in the game by far. I don't know why she's not on here. Where's Roadhog? I think he's still really weak. Actually, I wouldn't say he's really weak. He's a lot better than he was when he got reworked. They've been slowly buffing him back to where he was, but I still think he could still use a few tiny balance changes that I would give him. I don't know why he's not on here. Zarya nerfs. Where's Zarya nerfs? She ain't on here. Like, it's just so questionable. Like, all the shit that's supposed to be on here isn't here. But then we got all these other fucking random tanks that are getting buffed for no fucking reason when they're already some of the best tanks in the game, like Malga. And then there's nothing else here that makes sense. Fire the balance team, fire Alec Dawson, fire Eric Heller. Give him the pink slip, send him out the door. Like I say every fucking season. Here we got the damage, y'all. Even at odds, healing per second increase from 20 to 30. I think that's the perk where you get healing when you're using Deadeye. Whatever. I wouldn't even touch McCree balance-wise. I would just leave him alone. I would not touch him at all. Freyja. They're buffing Freyja, y'all. Freyja is one of those heroes right now that everybody in the high tiers of rank just fucking bitches and complains about. But, like, I think from, like, Diamond and below, she's one of the lowest pick rate heroes, and she has, like, a terrible win rate because she's really, like, you gotta land your shots on her, otherwise you just literally don't do anything. She's, like, a really high skill cap DPS. And, like, your higher tiers, I'm sure they're gonna be bitching and complaining about this. For your average tiers of play, kind of where I am as well, like gold, plat, don't really care about this at all. I really don't. I wouldn't really touch Freyja, though. I hate playing against her. She's so fucking annoying. I hate her. May no longer shares a cooldown with Ice Wall for her minor perk Glacial Propulsion. Cooldown increase from 6 to 10 seconds. So like a buff nerf to May. Whatever. Why is it even on this list? I have no idea. Reaper's a huge one because Reaper right now is one of the best DPS in the entire game. Especially with dive being really common, he's one of the best dive heroes. What do they do? Wraith Form, Ability 1, Speed while active reduced from 50 to 40%. That's a huge nerf. Him not being able to move as fast in Wraith Form is fucking bad for a nerf. There you go, that pretty much kills him. I wouldn't say it actually kills him because he still does a really good amount of damage, but it makes him a lot less survivable and a lot less free, which is kind of the main problem with him. You can get in, you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want, and then still get away and live to see the light of day. Shadow Blink major perked. They moved Shadow Blink down to a minor perk. Ravenous Wraith is gone. And then now they have a Lingering Wraith, which is now a minor perk, a new minor perk. Leaving Wraith Form grants 40% movement speed for 2 seconds. So pretty much what they did is they nerfed the Wraith Form at its base by 10%, and then they created a minor perk to where if you want to be able to move faster out of your Wraith Form and still kind of have that benefit of still being a lot more survivable, you're forced to pick the new perk. So whatever. I think Reaper is a lot worse, but they never nerfed his damage, though. He still does a shit ton of damage. He's just a lot less survivable, so this might actually hurt him. I'm not sure. Probably the biggest balance change we've gotten on this entire list so far. We'll see what else we have, but I do think that'll make him a lot worse, at least survivability-wise, but they never touched his damage, and one of the main things that is just so brain dead about him is, like, you get right on the top of somebody, and, like, you're 2-3-shotting most people, so his damage numbers are just fucking crazy at it. He's just so brain dead to play. Such a free hero that just does everything. I hate him. I hate going against Reaper. Tracer, another problem that we had this entirety of Season 18. Flashback major perk no longer grants 2 blink charges. Now increases Blink's cooldown rate, recovery rate by 150% for 3 seconds after a recall. Does this really do anything to her, to nerf her at all? No, she's another one of those heroes. People shit on like Roadhog, and there's a few other heroes in the game that people always shit on that say they're never going to be balanced. But Tracer's been in the game since the beginning, and she's another one of those heroes that just they never seem to be able to balance her properly. She's always just incredibly fucking broken, or she's dog shit for like 90% of the players. I think she's still going to be incredibly good. Incredibly good. I don't know if she's worth a ban, but if she gets through and the person that's playing her at least somewhat knows how to play her, she just rules lobbies. I don't know what this even does balance-wise. Like, I'm sitting here scratching my head, like, what does this do balance-wise to her that makes her worse? I don't know. It looks better on paper, if I'm being real. I'll have to see how that goes. Widowmaker, Seeker Mine, major perk. Damage increase from 25 to 50, whatever. I don't think that really does much for her at all. Now we got the supports. There's no other DPS here yet at all, y'all. There's no other damage here. Sombra isn't on here. Genji isn't on here. Probably one of the other, like, top 3, top 5 DPS right now. There's no Genji on here. Venture. Her perks are terrible. I would actually buff some of Venture's perks. I don't know. There's no Venture on here. There's Sombra, like I said, no Sombra. Hanzo's another one that's also incredibly good. I'm shocked he's not on here. There's a bunch of other DPS too that arguably should be on here, but they just aren't. The theme of this season is they're changing shit just to change shit like usual, and then like half the shit that's even on here just doesn't make sense. Just like every fucking season. We should have knew this since the start. Now we got the supports, y'all. How bad is this gonna be? Headhunter for Ana, her major perk. Critical damage multiplier increased by 1.5 from 1.5 to 2. Still a terrible perk. I think the problem with that is it encourages damage on it to get any value, and when her other major perk is just the biotic nade, or like you get the double bounce on the biotic nade, it's just so much better. It just has so much more value. So I don't know why I even buff that. Like, just fucking rework the major perk. Rework Headhunter. It's not good. Just rework it at this point. Hopefully they do this for the mid-season patch or something. Baptiste no longer removes healing from regenerative burst on assault burst. Attack speed bonus reduced from 30% to 25. So kind of like a buff nerf. Whatever. Alari Solar Flare major perk. Resource cost reduced from a 100 to 50% max energy. Healing amount no longer scales on energy spent. Explosion healing is now a flat 100 healing. So that's actually a buff. Huge buff for Alari. So pretty much what this Solar Flare one is if you have energy and like you can actually like, I think it's like push the secondary fire button with energy and it'll just do like a burst of healing instead of like using your energy and healing over time. That's kind of what it makes it do. It's kind of like a secondary way to heal. It's like a burst heal option. So now you actually just get a flat 100 healing, which in most cases is actually a lot more value than you had before. So it's a really solid buff for Alari. Will anybody play her though? I don't know. I barely see anybody play Alari, and when they do, they're terrible at her. So I'm probably the only one playing Alari, if I'm being 100% real. If she's being played, it's usually me playing her. Next we got Juno. Juno's the one that I've actually been playing. If you guys don't know, like I've been playing a shit ton of Juno, especially in Stadium. I've played more Stadium in I think like Season 18 than like any other season, and that's mainly because I've just been playing Juno for support. I used Juno to get all the way up to Elite tier for the first time ever in Stadium. this past season for Season 18. She's quickly becoming probably one of my most played supports, right alongside Lifeweaver and Ana. But she's probably gonna pass both of those soon enough. Probably by the time the end of the season's done, Juno will probably be like my most played support. The problem with Juno is she does take fucking forever to actually get an alt. There are some times where like people on your team will have 2 or 3 alts, and you haven't even charged one of your alts yet. I think it was like 3150 is what you had to have, either damage or healing, like those type of stats combined, to get one alt, which was the highest amount of alt charge you needed, or like amount of like damage and healing you needed to get an alt out of any of the supports in the entire game. So this is one of the only balance changes I think that actually makes sense on this entire list, just from playing Juno so much this past season. This is one thing she desperately needed. Her ult charge rate was so fucking slow. It was fucking terrible, and it was one of the main things really holding her back. The other main thing that I would change that isn't on here, but it's fine, is I will get rid of the tier 3 perk of the that's the triple jump of the Martian boots. I forgot what they called it, but you get a triple jump instead of a double jump. I would get rid of that and move that to like a tier 1, and then get rid of the tier 1 of where like you have the faster firing on her rockets, or like her rockets or whatever heals, and then get rid of that and give us an entire new tier 2 perk. That's what I would do. Because I think the next thing they need to look at is her perks, because she only has 2 good perks. The one that you get the cooldown reduction on her rocket heals, and then the other one you have the faster blaster, which is actually really, really good. So that's the only other thing I would change. Apart from that, I think Juno was actually one of the most balanced supports in the game, funny enough. So, wow, we went all this way, y'all. All this way to finally get a balance change that actually makes sense. And we are almost done with the balance changes. That's pretty sad. One balance change that actually legitimately makes sense out of an entire season. That is pretty fucking pathetic. Kiriko, Foxtrot, major perk, they nerfed it by 1 second, and then Ready Step is another major perk. Duration increased from 2 to 3 seconds, so they took her most picked perk, which was Foxtrot, which is what I usually pick as well, and they nerfed it and they buffed the other perks, so people were more inclined to pick it. That's kind of what it was. Pretty much a power shift between perks. Whatever. Doesn't really matter that much, not really. Doesn't really change much about her. Lifeweaver, Mr. VIP, getting a mythic skin this season as well. Lifeweaver, rejuvenating dash healing increased from 20 to 30, and then pedal power increased attack bonus from 25 to 30. That's huge. Huge buffs. I mean, it makes sense. He's getting a mythic skin. They want people to buy the mythic skin, so they're gonna go and buff Lifeweaver again. You could argue he didn't even need these balance changes and any of these buffs, but I'm not gonna complain. I like playing Lifeweaver. I think he's really fun to play. He's kind of annoying to play now because he's actually so survivable to where it's actually pretty damn difficult to kill him at times. He's getting to the point where like he's almost unkillable in some of your games, depending on who's playing him. But the major buff here is the pedal power. If you're in ranked with a duo and if you use like Lifeweaver and you pick this major perk, just pair it with somebody with like an Ashe, McCree, especially Soldier 76 is really good. Soldier, and there's a few other heroes that really liked this buff on the pedal platform and just be able to stand on it all game. Gives them really insane damage numbers and attack speed. They just do a lot more damage. This even being buffed, it was already good before, but it being buffed again is actually just incredible. It is actually going to be really, 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 really good. More so in your games that you have like a duo or like in your stacking. It's not really as good in like solo queue, which is kind of the downside of this perk. But if you're like playing ranked with like a duo or something, and they're playing damage, you can take a lot of advantage from this and just shred everybody with how fast you shoot people. You just do so much more damage, you just charge out way faster as well. So it's actually really, really good. Wu Yang, the other major problem with the entirety of Season 18. Are they going to finally nerf Wu Yang? It looks like they actually are, y'all. It took them an entire season to finally nerf this guy, to where he's not the best support in the entire game, and doesn't dictate the entire fucking meta of the game for most of your ranks. Base health reduced from 250 down to 225. Pretty solid nerf. Primary fire explosion damage reduced from 70 to 60, and then the maximum impact damage reduced from 30 to 40. So overall, these damage numbers would combine. So like if you hold it down, like shoot it around a corner or something, it would be like 100 damage. Now the max of it, I think it's like 90 damage comparing both of these. So actually, technically, they got it was a buff nerf, so they nerfed the max explosion radius by 10, but then they buffed the impact damage by 10. So technically, he didn't lose any damage. He has the exact same amount of damage. So they didn't actually nerf him. They didn't actually nerf his damage numbers. They're pretty much the exact same. That's fun. That's real great. The main thing they needed to nerf with Wu Yang is his damage, because he has some of the best heals in the entire game, which they tried to nerf for mid-season. And then he still just out-damages like 90% of the DPS roster as a support, and then drops like 10k heals a game, while having like almost 10k damage sometimes. There should be no fucking reason that you have 10k heals and 10k damage as a support and you're out-damaging all the DPS in the entire lobby. That's fucking busted. Did they nerf his damage? They tried to, but they failed miserably. We'll see if this matters. Maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe it'll nerf him, but on paper here, it does not look like it really nerfed. They just changed some of the damage numbers around to where on the impact damage, the numbers were buffed, which is the harder to land damage, but overall, he's still doing the same amount of damage, so it doesn't, I don't think it really matters, especially for the majority of like your Wu Yang players, at least average or better than average at him. Overflow minor perk, healing resource generation increased from 33% to 50%. Why? Why? Why are they buffing his minor perk? That was already... Oh my god, here we go, y'all. Balance, passive healing reduced from 40 to 30%. Whatever. Ebb and flow major perk, healing on returning wave reduced by 50%. I honestly don't know what they're trying to do with Wu Yang, because like these balance changes just don't make any sense. He's incredibly good, but they're supposed to nerf the guy. The only nerf that actually makes any sense here that actually does something is the health change. But even then, he still has really good mobility. Plus, he has really good damage and he has really good healing. So, most of the time, anyways, as long as you're playing at least relatively decent and relatively safe, and you know what you're doing, you're still not going to be dying even with the health changes. I don't even know what that really does most of the time, anyways. And then they go and buff his perks. So they nerf one of his minor perks and they buff the other one, which is also already really good. So I don't know. I have no idea what they're trying to do. And then the damage numbers seem pretty much the same. They just changed them around. If you guys know, let me know in the comments down below. But at least from the looks of it, the only thing that actually really changes and actually changes him is the health change. Everything else looks like it makes him even better than he was, or pretty much the exact same. Apart from this major perk, which is a nerf, but it was still really good to begin with. It's still going to be really good. So, last but not least, we got Stadium, y'all. We're going to talk about this. I'm not going to go through every single Stadium change, but and all these gadgets and all this other shit. You guys look at that yourselves, because we're already been in this video for a long time. It's a pretty long video already. Stadium competitive updates. Stadium is entirely being reverted, or like changed, not really reverted. I guess technically it is a revert because quick play is already 5 rounds, so they're pretty much taking quick play Stadium and they're putting it into competitive now to make it a best of 5. No longer do we have best of 7, y'all. They are finally taking feedback for Stadium. When was Stadium added? Like season 13? I don't know. What was it, like season 14 or 15? I forgot what season Stadium was added. It's been quite a while already. Like, it's been fucking forever already, and we are finally getting the time of matches hopefully reduced from being like 35, 40-minute games if it goes to around 7. Hopefully down to a max of like 20, 25 minutes for a best of 5. Powers are granted on rounds 1, 2, 3, and 5. First team to 3 wins and will win the match. The Mercy rule has been disabled, so they got rid of that fucking bullshit. That way it doesn't extend the match longer. Round 1 completion cash increase. Round 2 completion cash increase. Round completion cash increase from up to 4250 from 3500. The amount of cash generated each round from healing and damage has been increased, and the MVP bonus has been increased. So pretty much what they're doing is they're scaling it so that if you snowball each round, if you get like a 1 or 2 round lead, you're kind of able to. It's a lot easier to snowball and just win the game based off that. So it's kind of what they're doing. Rightfully so, because Stadium with 7 rounds, I said it since day fucking 1, since they added Stadium on the first patch when it was put into the game, that it goes way too long, and you should not be sitting in a Stadium game for 35-40 minutes just to lose a game. It is the worst shit ever. Why they're first now changing it from a best of 7 to a best of 5 is beyond me, and it goes to show you how fucking clueless they are with this mode. And before somebody goes into the comments and then says, "Oh, Stadium was in development for 2+ years, man." If it wasn't in development for over 2+ years, they wouldn't have this clueless mindset with this mode that they're constantly changing or trying to add shit to it. And we would already have the majority of the hero roster added to the mode. We barely have 20 heroes in this fucking mode. And it's been in the game for I don't know how long already. Forever already. Seems like forever. When are we going to get all the heroes? I have no idea. They should all. If it was in development for 2 years, we should have every fucking hero. At least up until some of the newer ones in Stadium already. Where are they? Nowhere. And now they're changing it to a best of 5 because they're fucking clueless. Granted, that's something that people have been saying since day 1. They just haven't done it forever for some reason. Now we got gadgets. I'm not going to talk about any of these because I'm going to be completely real with you guys. I just don't care. I just do not care about gadgets at all. I feel like this is more shit to clutter the UI in Stadium, and it's more shit that people won't know how to actually use, and it's more stuff that people use to just troll or throw your games the majority of the time. That's all I'm going to say about this shit. It kind of reminds me of Paladins. It's another kind of copy homework from Paladins, because Paladins has something really similar to it as well. With the item shop, it's like a one-time buy, like cooldown based item, but it's still really similar to the item shop. It's kind of a new play on the item shop from Paladins. Granted, that's a dead game, but still, I have to bring that up. Stadium combat text. What I want here is I want to be able to disable the announcer. Where is the option to disable the Stadium announcer? Because it is so annoying at times. Where is that? That's nowhere to be found either. Armory filters, armory tabs, armory advanced info panel. Whatever. They added one new map. Whatever. There are so many. We're not even halfway through this, y'all. I'm just going to scroll through this. You guys can see how much shit there is for Stadium. We got 3 new heroes being added. I'm not going to sit here and go through all this. If you guys want to go through everything with all these heroes, by all means, go do it. We got a bunch of balance changes for some of them as well. Torb got added. Look at all the stuff. Ana. I think Ana, actually, they're going to... There was rumors her being nerfed. Where was her? Where was it? There was a... Fountain of Youth. Artsy Power. Okay, they gave her a new power, whatever. There was some, I think it was like the Sleep Dart. There was like an item that people were running, which I was also running on a lot of my builds. It gives you like 400% like collision size on your Sleep Dart, so you don't even really have to like aim it. You kind of just shoot it in the direction of somebody to land. I don't know if they nerfed that, I don't see it here, but if they did, let me know in the comments down below. Everybody was bitching and complaining about that. Brig, did they buff Brig? I don't know. I think she's still going to be really fucking weak. Really weak. General item. Look at all this shit, y'all. Like, I'm still going, y'all. There we go. We finally got it done. That is it. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of the season in the comments down below. We're already way far into this video, so... I apologize for a longer video, y'all, but there was a lot of shit to talk about. As of right now, we have Pokemon Legends ZA dropping here on Thursday. I don't know which day I'm going to get the game, whether it's on Thursday or Friday. Either one of those days, I'm not sure. It just depends when I'm able to go to the store and if they have copies of it available and that type of thing. But either that or if I don't know if I'm going to get the digital version or the physical copy of the game either. We'll see how that goes. Depends if they have some at the store or whatever, but... I'm going to be playing Pokemon Legends ZA here probably at the end of this week, so The plan is right now is to play the shit out of Overwatch for like the next 2 days. Today, the rest of today, and probably most of tomorrow in my free time or whatever I have time to. And then make a tier list for you guys. But like judging on a lot of these balance changes, not really much from last season has changed. There's a few major balance changes and like a few things that have changed, but overall, nothing really has changed. So I'm probably gonna do a tier list. It's probably gonna be a lot earlier for this season. Usually I wait till the weekend to do it, but I'm probably gonna try to have it up for you guys by Friday. And then I'll also be doing a stadium tier list later on, probably either next week or the week after I have some time to play stadium. The main priority is Pokemon Legends ZA for me though, so I'm gonna try to throw a tier list out for like 6v6/5v5 for you guys, probably towards the end of this week, and then I'm probably gonna be pivoting over to like a lot of Pokemon Legends ZA content for like the next week or two, and I'll do like a stadium tier list and some other stuff for you guys. So that's the plan as of right now. But I think the tier list that I will be putting out for you guys probably gonna be more of a shorter tier list. I'm gonna try more of a shorter one because and kind of just go based off of the season 18 tier list that I did for you guys, and just kind of change whatever I feel like has changed on the list, and just keep whatever I feel like is the same on the list, kind of that type of thing. So that's the plan as of right now. I'll also probably be streaming Friday, probably Pokemon Legends ZA if I do have it at the point. If not, I'll probably be streaming Overwatch. So keep an eye on the channel. Apart from that, I'm gonna get out of here. Peace out, everybody, and I'll see you guys in a future video.